billions on the line, political pressure, and the threat of criminal charges. The questions for consulting firm PwC that won't go away.
What are you doing about this? What are you doing about ethical behaviours or unethical behaviours?
We want to send a very clear message to them and anyone else who's providing services to government that you cannot breach the trust of the government or the Australian people.
The heat's been on PwC since former partner Peter Collins was barred by the Tax Practitioners Board for sharing details from confidential Treasury briefings about a crackdown on multinational tax avoidance. Released by the Senate, internal emails show the firm used the intelligence to create a way around the new laws and sold that information on to clients.
Tom, what does this email tell you?
It tells us that there's been aggressive marketing going on. They've had people working several time zones. They've had people working over a tight time frame. So it tells us how frenetic the pace was in dealing with the arrangements of companies to work around the law.
The firm made $2.5 million in fees from new clients. But this corporate law expert says they'll make much more than that. Scott Donald says big consulting firms cash in on the perception they can fix problems.
Being able to interpret, anticipate, perhaps even influence the way that government sets up various regimes, whether it's tax or other sorts of regimes, and then being able to then sell that information, that knowledge, off to their clients.
And some of the evidence that we've seen as a government...
Now PwC, Australia's biggest client, the federal government, is taking action.
We've got Treasury looking at an investigation into what has occurred and looking at whether criminal charges should be referred to the AFP.
Businesses subject to the same rigorous regulation are astonished.
I think most people are fairly shocked that a professional financial services company in Australia the size of PwC could be committing such blatant, unethical and potentially illegal behaviour.
We're yet to fully know the nature of the consultation between PwC and Treasury and the confidentiality agreements that govern it.
From the outside, it seems like an astounding breach of what are relatively straightforward and common confidentiality rules and requirements around financial services.
That really colours whether there's going to be criminal or other sorts of consequences that flow from it.
There are plenty of consequences to go around, potentially for Peter Collins, for the 50 as yet unnamed staff in the emails, and for the firm itself. The scandal threatens PwC's ability to win new government contracts after earning more than $500 million from the federal government in just the past 2 years.
Many taxpayers, of course, as you're aware, paying a lot of attention to this. They don't get to avoid tax or sell confidential information for monetising personal profit. Why have you not taken that decision?
Well, Senator, as I said, we certainly take processes around procurement and integrity of consultancies very seriously.
Many more awkward questions to come.